One of the most interesting Pokemon in history are perhaps the Onix. They are giant snake-like creatures made of boulders that evolve into giant spinal cord-like creatures made of metal. They are very important to the ecosystem, as they use their huge bodies to burrow beneath the earth to create tunnels that eventually house hundreds of other species. However, they also cause these same tunnels to collapse when they inevitably pass through the same area. It results in massive casualties and loss of habitats. But this too helps the environment, since dead Pokemon are a great source of nutrients for plants and trees on the surface. And the forest houses way more species of Pokemon that are way more adorable than dirty old tunnels. Onix are considered to be one of the largest land Pokemon, making them rather difficult to raise for most trainers. So it's no wonder they've become a symbol of wealth, since only the rich could afford to house and feed these creatures. Us mere peasants could only bow down and avoid direct eye contact with the rich folks as they pass through the town in Onix-drawn carriages, as it destroys all the parked vehicles and traffic lights. Admittedly, Onyx and Steelix look rather scary, but they're extremely friendly and personable. In fact, they love good belly rubs and neck scratches, but doing so without proper tools would result in absolutely destroying your hands. The most effective way to show them affection is to use rakes or hammers to gently rub them on their bellies and the scruff of their necks. If you do it wrong, however, they can turn extremely violent. But perhaps the most interesting thing about the Onix is its origin. The thing is, they didn't always look like coiled rock poop. In fact, they used to be an entirely different Pokemon. You see, in prehistoric times, the winters were even more harsh than it is today. And in order to survive, Geodudes were forced to huddle together for warmth. Another thing about the winter in the olden days is that it can last for a very long time. So a gaggle of Geodudes would huddle together and hold each other for months on end, while their bodies continuously molted and hardened. Over time, they fused together into a single being and their consciousness faded until only the strongest of them remained. During the days after their inception, there had been few cases where a dormant Geodude would suddenly wake up and break out of formation, thus causing the rest of the Onix to collapse. Most people didn't even know about this fact until archaeologists dug up some of the earliest Onyx fossils. They discovered that each stone segment contained perfectly preserved Geodude skeletons inside. This marked the first time Pokemon delineated from their usual evolution to become an entirely different species. The world of science was in absolute frenzy over this groundbreaking discovery. The fact that a gaggle of Geodudes turned into an Onix also became a huge inspiration for the film franchise, The Human Centipede. I'm a stack of expired coupons to Bad Bath & Beyond, and this has been another episode of Pokemon Facts. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more factual Pokemon facts. Have a wonderful Pokemon day.